Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Patsmokers Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Patsmokers Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Hebrew sacred text. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible in order to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered testimony of the various Old Testament prophets. It became the book of Zion. And I found contained within it a set of instructions that I was uniquely qualified to undertake. So I did. And in order to finalize my last thing to do on my to-do list, I am publishing peace on YouTube and social media through the Potsmokers Bible Program channel. And I'm reading to you from the unpublished manuscripts, or the physically published manuscripts, the Potsmokers Bible and Book of Zion. And today I'm reading to you from the 28th chapter of the Potsmokers Bible. It doesn't contain anything from the Book of Zion because we concluded that in my last chapter. This chapter is called the Temple of Zion, and it goes like this. The Temple of Zion first opened in 2007. It was the result of 3 years of studying the prophecy after I had first pierced it together. I created the temple in order to fulfill the prophecies list of requirements. It took me 3 years to conceive of the means to fulfill all of the requirements of the text. The temple was the result. I had to figure out a way to establish myself in judgment, and I had to do it without using money. In the process, I had to use the testimony of the prophet Isaiah, particularly, to speak on my behalf as my witness and on the behalf of the God as his witness. The result must be that I would serve a prison sentence. Then, and only then, would I publish the book I was meant to write, the Book of Zion. Only then would the prophecy be fulfilled as foretold. The Temple of Zion fulfilled every requirement. I sold marijuana at the temple in the state of Nebraska. The substance that was described in the prophecy, my plant of renown, marijuana. I taught each member the prophecy, and together we imagined what it would take to create Zion, and thus fulfill the prophecy. By opening the temple, I set in motion every element for the fulfillment of prophecy. I set the stage. Because I openly practiced the religion of Zion, I challenged the state. I defied the law on purpose to be arrested and to thus enter into judgment, into court. I did this simply by putting up a sign, temple. Later, that became the Temple of Zion. This sign being posted at the home of a dealer whose only worshippers were drug users was purely an act of defiance, a trap. For 7 years, the authorities sought to infiltrate the temple and or to turn my followers against it. That never happened. The only time I sold to a narc was when I finally said, fuck it, and sold to a known narc, who never entered the temple, by the way. I did the deal at the door on purpose. Now, that narc later testified about the sale, but they had to use his testimony in my trial, the one that I had set in motion. So, they had to drop any future charges because of double jeopardy. So, the cops finally just raided the temple, a no-knock warrant. But for those 7 years, they were beautiful. I sold marijuana for the threefold God. And in those 7 years, I saw a vision so simple and true that it still illuminates my mind and energizes my soul to make it real. Zion is too beautiful not to make real, to realize. And it was the combination of the combined imagination of the 50 members that created what we will soon become, I believe. And what we are to become is, as they say, delightful. We who are Zionite are above all individuals. No two Zionites are alike. We each have our very own way of doing things. And we do all things with love and laughter. The temple brought out the best in us. We let down our guard and relaxed. I saw at the temple what we truly are as a people. A people who love life. We feel things deeply. That is our connection to life, to emotion. A Zionite does things from the heart. We live a Zion life. This society sucks emotions out of us and leaves us empty and hollow. But the drugs gives us back the positive emotions. And that's why we are delightful. Because we can still feel positive emotions. This society thrives on the negative: chaos, hatred, anger, sadness, stress, worry, frustration. Sound familiar? These are the most prevalent emotions on this planet at this time. These emotions pervade everything, and it creates an energy field that enhances these emotions and makes positive emotions harder to experience. It is this energy that determines all outcomes. If the emotional field is overwhelmingly negative, then the most likely outcome of any endeavor will be negative. The field requires it. The aspect of the energy determines the outcome within the field. In such a field, all negative actions must be qualified with all positive actions must be qualified with a negative element. In our world, that element is called money. Its function is negative, but its action generates a positive effect. Money is the power source of the human activity. Its function is to separate. It separates those who have money from those who don't have money. For those who have it, all aspects are positive. For those who don't have it, all aspects are negative. It is an element that separates all things. In this society, money is everything. Those who have money can easily obtain almost anything they want. Those who don't have money struggle endlessly against every odd, aiding those who have money with all of their effort. Money is the one element in this society that is the cause of pain and suffering, joy and pleasure. It's the element that controls society. Now, I've already explained how our emotions create our quantum field. The polarization of the field's aspect, either positive or negative, determines outcomes. So to change the outcome, we must change the aspect of the field. To do so, we must change the balance of energy overall. To flip our electromagnetic field, we must generate more positive energy in order to overpower the negative energy field. We must alter our personal energy output individually in order to change the ratio positive and negative. Now, in order to do this, I did not allow negative emotions inside the temple. All negative emotions were purged by expression. This allowed our negative emotional energy to expand itself. When expressed, an emotion releases the energy it contained in it, either negative or positive. That energy either strengthens the energy field it's in or weakens it. Now, by not allowing negative energy to build up or be contained at the temple, I created a negative bubble in a positive bubble in a negative world. The quantum field isn't generated by the emotions we express, but rather by the energy we contain within. Our hearts generate energy to maintain our bodies. The energy is expressed in emotion, either as positive or negative. Now, the polarity of the emotions creates the beating of the heart. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. It's not that we feel this emotion. It's the quantum probability of the emotion that generates life. In a way, life is generated by the question, why are we alive? It's our potential for life that is itself qualifying for life. We are because we feel. We feel because we question. We question to express, to experience more, to learn. Our experiences express through our emotions. We feel, therefore we are. So at the temple, we willfully created a positive bubble of energy. We greeted each other with love. Hugs were common. Each temple visitor would give me a hug when they came in and a hug when they went out. I got a lot of hugs. No one was allowed to speak negatively about each other. You didn't call someone stupid or ugly at the temple. It was not allowed. Because words matter. They express emotion. So we only spoke in positive terms about each other. The motto was, if you couldn't say something good about something, don't say anything at all. The temple was a sacred space, and we treated it that way. And we treated each other with respect for that reason. Not all members got along, and some members were truly despised by others. But at the temple, they kept their opinions of each other to themselves. Everybody had the right to be there. So everyone was treated with respect because the temple was a sacred space and they respected the temple. They respected me. Now, I tried to limit the contact between these chaotic personalities, these members that did not get along. I did this in order to keep them from generating negative emotions when they were in contact with each other. The sight or feel of someone that you hate or feel negatively about will instantaneously change your emotional aspect, creating negative emotional energy amplified. This is a natural and therefore unavoidable response. So, to keep the temple as clear of negative emotions as possible, it was necessary to separate chaotic personalities. You see, and that's where I'm going to end for the day. So, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice when we get to Camp Zion. If you use drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote the book. My name is Zion. I am the prophet foretold in the Old Testament, come to set us free and create a new nation called Zion. Come and join me, please. I don't say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.